Okay. Hello, everyone. Um, Today's video is going to be it's going to be a Q&A video. But before I really get into talking about the Q&A, um, I want to talk about the Facebook page I made. Again, this is probably the last time I'm going to bring it up in the beginning of the video. Just because I really want people to listen and I want people to go there because I'm helping a lot of people with mental illness on there. And as you can see, I have a cat, and she is adorable. She's 18 years old, also. But the Facebook page right now has over 300 followers, or likes, or whatever. I don't really know. But I've responded to everyone on there so far. And I think it's a very smart thing to have. I think it's very good to have, um, just to be able to help people. You like? She was an outside cat. Um, Her claws. I don't know if a lot of cats do this, but their claws are so sharp. Like it's ridiculous. Stop using your claws. It hurts. And so yeah, all my social medias will be down in the description. But anyways, this is a Q&A video. I tried to choose the best questions. I kind of wanted to get the questions like as fast as possible, so I could upload the video because I don't feel like waiting and I'm tired and I didn't take my medicine last night. So yeah, you guys want to see her? Stop using your claws. She just tried biting me. See, she's an outside cat. She's not very. She's very lovable, but she's kind of mean. But anyways, let's get into this Q&A. I have all the questions on my computer over there, so I'm gonna read it off. What's your favorite food? Um, Favorite food would have to be seafood. Um, for the longest time, ever since I was young, I love seafood. Favorite seafood would have to be crab. I used to get king crab legs a lot when I was young, but I haven't really ate seafood in a while. I mean, I do eat shrimp every once in a while, and shrimp is probably my second favorite. Well, it's probably my third to a lobster tail. Lobster tails are amazing, but crab and seafood is definitely my favorite food. My favorite food that's not so expensive would probably have to be chicken or steak. Um, I was vegetarian for about a year and a half, or no, about a year and 2 months. I was a vegetarian, and I kind of stopped because I was like, man, I really want some meat. You know, after a while, you're just like, ah, meat sounds so good right now. And I was eating like a bunch of fake stuff, like fake, fake meat, pretty much. I don't know what it's called, but I being vegetarian was actually quite nice. Oh, sorry, I hit my cat in the head. Being a vegetarian was actually quite nice, and I would probably go back to it. And I would probably go to being vegan also, just because I enjoy. Uh, I don't know. I enjoy it. Um, so that's it for the first question. Second question would have to be, do you believe in reincarnation? No, I do not. I like the idea to an extent because it would suck to be reincarnated, but it would actually be kind of cool at the same time. But it kind of sucks because you don't know what you would be reincarnated to, or if you would get a choice. If you got a choice to choose what you would want to be reincarnated as, that would be really fascinating. But at the same time, it would suck because I don't want to be reincarnated. I want to be me, you know. And after you die, we don't know what happens, obviously. Um, but nothing in the universe actually dies. So what would we become? Energy, whatever. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. What happens when a star dies? If its mass is big enough, it will turn into a black hole. And nothing dies in the universe. It just turns into something else, or at least that's what I know. And for us to die, you know, we would die physically. Our bodies physically would die, our physical bodies. But what happens to all the energy and what happens to all of that? No one knows. So do I believe in reincarnation? No, because I think that would be it would not be wise to have reincarnation be a thing. It's not wise. It's not the order of things. So yeah, but it would be cool. I mean, I used to think when I was young, I was like, reincarnation would be kind of cool. And if I did have a choice to be what would I like to be reincarnated as? It would have to be a lion, a male lion, especially because that is my favorite animal. Lions are my favorite animal, but the male is the most fascinating, the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Um, I love how their lives are. Their lives are difficult. But that's what the hardest part is how hard their lives are because they get kicked out of their pride when they're about 2 years old, solely because they're becoming sexually mature, and so their fathers will kick them out of the pride because the father doesn't want their sons to take him out, and that's how it works there. That would be the only part that would suck is trying to survive on your own for 4 years until you're an adult, until you can actually take over another pride of your own. So I'd love to be a male lion if I was reincarnated. So that's it for question number 2. Question number 3 is what's one of your worst experiences with hallucinations? Worst experiences with hallucinations? I don't know why, but it's not like focusing. That's weird. Maybe lighting, perhaps? I don't know. But this cat, look. She's adorable, but she's kind of mean. There she goes. Where are you going? Okay, what is it? My worst experience with hallucinations would have to be a tactile hallucination. As everyone, or at least everyone should know, is I've hallucinated the girl from The Ring. If you don't know who that is, she's the girl with the black hair over her face. She crawls all freaking creepy and she comes out of the TV. So I hallucinated her ever since I was like, I don't know how old, like 11. Whenever the movie came out, I saw it and it fucking like terrified me to hell. And at the time I was hallucinating something else. Like I was hallucinating skeletons when I was like 6, 7. And had to play with my fears, I think. And the worst hallucination with her I've had was when she was hanging herself, or she was cutting into her wrists, or I could feel her digging into my feet. Like, the part, well, you just use my hands for example. The parts like right here, digging like that. And it was just like awful. Worst experience I've ever had. It was one of the most painful experiences I've ever had. And I hope that does not happen again because it's only happened a few times, 1 or 2 times. What's she doing? She's eating now. Never mind, she's drinking water. Question number 4. What is your view on LGBTQ rights? Never really thought about it because it doesn't really bother me. Gay people, lesbians, transgender people, bisexual people, they don't bother me. I say this like, if you are a certain type of way, or if you are gay, whatever, if you're not hurting yourself or you're hurting other people, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me. I don't care if someone's gay. I don't care if someone's transgender. I don't care if someone's lesbian. I don't care. Like, if you are doing something that makes you happy, or if you're gay and it makes you happy, and it doesn't bother anyone else or it doesn't bother you, I don't see that as a problem. I see as if people can do anything they want just as long as it does not bother yourself or it bothers other people. I mean, yeah, like gay people like bother other people, but it's irrational, Like, it shouldn't bother you if someone's gay or transgender. It shouldn't bother you. Like, I don't see why that would bother someone. I just view that as stupidity, as in someone getting bothered by someone who's gay. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. So, people can do anything they want, just as long as it doesn't hurt myself or it doesn't hurt people around them. I don't see it as a problem at all, and I support it, I guess. I mean, I don't really care. I mean, people can do whatever they want. Makes them happy, let them do it, you know? Um, Next question, hold on. I need my vape. Next question, do I believe in any religious or spiritual ideas? Very touchy subject, you know. I personally don't really like talking about this, just because it bothers people, you know. I don't think it should bother people. Myself, I am not religious. I do not have any spiritual ideas. It's not something I really have. When I was young, I was like, you know, like 10, 9. I was like, God. I didn't even believe in God then. I was like, you know, I don't really know too much about it. So I'm going to be like, God might exist when I was young. And when I started learning more about religion, and I started learning more about science, um, I don't really have the need to believe in any supernatural or believe in any religious ideas. Now, I have nothing against people who are religious, just as long as it's not hurting other people, you know? Just as long as people are helping people, or people are, like, not pushing their ideas on other people, it's not a problem. Uh, you can believe in it. Doesn't bother me, just as long as, like I just said, you're not pushing it on other people. There's no point in pushing your ideas on some other person that doesn't really want the ideas, you know? What I care about is physics, the universe, science, evolution, um, stuff like that. You know, I would say, you can't really rule out God. You can't really prove that he exists. You can't really prove that he doesn't exist. So I would say I'm an agnostic. I would go a little bit further and say I'm an agnostic atheist. Um, I don't know. I mean, I have no need for it. I don't really have any need for it. It doesn't satisfy me to believe in a God. Um, it's just never really fit my agenda. Just to the type of person I am, I don't really need that, and I've never really put too much attention towards it. Um, but if you believe in it, that is completely fine. Doesn't bother me. Um, um, yeah, I mean, I've never really had a need for it. Um, just I mean, even when I was young, I never really believed in it anyways. Like I wasn't really raised in a religious family. People who aren't raised in a religious family, they don't really believe in it or care for it. You know, I don't care if someone's deeply religious. I don't care if someone's not deeply religious. It's 50-50 for me. I just don't care. Just like most people that are huge science fanatics, physicists, um, Neil deGrasse Tyson, um, Einstein, they don't care. Like, that's just where I'm at. They're 50-50. They don't care. They're like, could exist, could not, just doesn't fit my agenda, you know. So that's where I stand with the whole thing. Yeah. So, question number 6, have I tried any psychedelic drugs before? If yes, what was your experience like? Um, Before I looked up this question, I was looking if weed was a psychedelic. Doesn't really classify as a psychedelic, but at the same time it kind of does. But I'm going to just say no, it's not. But I did try LSD once. Good thing about that is it didn't work. Didn't work for me or my friend that was doing it. I would say I'm a complete idiot for doing so, even though it didn't work. When I was young, 14, I made stupid decisions, peer pressure, around people who do drugs. I'm not that type of person. I'm not the type of person to do drugs. Um, I don't know. It's just not who I am. I think drugs are quite stupid, depending on what it is. If it's a drug that is like an antipsychotic, I still think it's very stupid, but at the same time, it helps me for now until I'm well enough to stop it. But not a big fan of drugs. Any drugs, not a big fan of drugs. I don't. This video is 15 minutes already, and I'm only on the 6th question. You've got to be kidding me. What the hell? Okay, I'm gonna have to speed this up or something. I don't want this video to be over like 40 minutes. Or maybe I could. I don't know. But LSD did not work for me. Didn't work for my friend either. It was what we call a bum tab. And yeah, never really had any experience with psychedelic drugs. Not a big fan of drugs overall. So yeah, no. What is the chance to develop schizophrenia? Okay. Let's see. The chances are, if you have a family member that has it. Damn. Okay, if you have one parent that has it, it's like a 13% chance to develop it. If both your parents have it, it's like a 40% chance, maybe 36 to 40% chance to have it. If anyone in your distant relatives have it, I think it's closer to 2-3%. I think. I'm not 100% on that, so I don't know. Chances are very slim. It's very rare. Unless both your parents have it, then there's a very high chance of you having it. What kind of music do you listen to? There's 2 questions to this, so I'm going to answer both of them. Okay, first, what kind of music do you listen to? My favorite type of music to listen to would be classical music. Mozart, Beethoven, I think his name is Bach, I think. Classical music is by far my favorite type of music to listen to. What I listen to more than classical music would have to be Frank Sinatra, Bing Crosby, Dean Martin, Billie Holiday, all those old-time jazz singers. Jazz singers are my favorite. Frank Sinatra is my favorite singer of all time. And music, I've listened to like pretty much all eras of music. Then Elvis, he was in like the late 50s, 60s, 70s. Then it goes into rock and roll. I don't know if the Beatles really count as rock and roll. I think they do. Their music's odd. But the Beatles, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Jimi Hendrix. Then it goes to the 80s, which I do not like. I don't know any 80s singers. Van Halen, I guess. AC/DC's kind of 80s. So that, and then the second part of this question would have to be, do I make art? No, I'm not a very artistic person. I'm a very creative person, but I'm not very good with art. I'm very creative. My mind is very creative with thoughts and with ideas. I'm very creative in that manner, but not with art. What is the relationship with my parents? What is the relationship with my parents? My parents are amazing. My relationship with them are amazing. And it pretty much always has been. But most families, they have problems. Like, any family has problems. Any normal family has problems. And my relationship with my parents is wonderful. It is 100% amazing. It is absolutely amazing. I love both of them more than anything. If I didn't have them, I don't know where I would be. I have no idea what I would be. They are everything to me. Okay, so number 10, explain how bad your mental illness would have to be for you to take a break in education to stabilize. For me, I had to drop out of high school because of how severe my mental illness was at around 14. So your illness would have to affect other people. It would have to affect, for you to drop out, your illness needs to affect other people. Like for example, from what happened to me, it affected everyone. It affected the people I was around, it affected the teachers, it affected the principals, it affected everyone because I was so insane, I would be set off very easily. I always had my head down in class because of how bad the illness was at the time for me, and I was just not even in my right mind. It's like I wasn't even there. and I would be set off very easily. And it would be to a point to where I would get very aggressive, not with people, but I remember one time that a teacher kind of was like saying stuff to me, and I completely like freaked out, slammed the door, made a huge scene, and I left the school and I got suspended. So at that point, you kind of gotta leave because it's affecting everyone, and that's how bad it has to be. Is when it's affecting other people. Are there any movies relating to mental illness that I really like? Yes. The mathematician John Nash, the movie A Beautiful Mind was an absolutely wonderful movie in my opinion. It was very well portrayed, very well done, and I really like John Nash. He was a great mathematician. He was a very great mind, and what he went through was extremely interesting. I personally don't really have those types of delusions that he has, but I understand what it is and what he was going through at the time. So, if anybody would like to watch a movie that has that is about schizophrenia, I would watch A Beautiful Mind. Brilliant movie. I thought it was fantastic. I would probably give it an 8 or 9 out of 10. Just because myself, I really like John Nash. And I'm very similar to him in manners of mind and illness and drive to figure shit out, as in physics, mathematics, all that kind of stuff. Okay, next question. How do I go about telling people that I have schizophrenia? I myself, I don't really have any friends, so I don't really have to tell people. But friends in the past, I had to tell them because it was kind of like, I'm weird. I'm very weird, and I gotta tell you what's going on with me. What do I have? And, for example, if you're stable and you are in a very good mindset and you have friends and people don't really notice anything's wrong with you, I don't see the point in telling them, because a lot of people don't really understand this type of thing. People don't really, I don't know, care, I guess. Might think you're weird for having it. And I don't see a point in really telling people unless you actually need to. If you need to tell people, just be like, hey, I have a severe mental illness that affects my brain, it affects my everyday life, and it's not very fun to deal with. So this is what I have. You can either be understanding or not. That's pretty much how I'd tell people. What do your parents think about your illness, and do they have schizophrenia? My parents do not have schizophrenia. They don't have any serious mental illness. What do they think? In the beginning, they were like, what the hell? Like, this fucking sucks, Like any parent would. If a parent had a kid that had, like, cancer or something, you would be like, why? Why me? Why does my kid have to have this? Why does my kid have to go through this? That's what it was like. It was like denial. And now over time they're like understanding. They know what it's like and they are understanding about it. But in the beginning they were very sad and in denial, just like any parent would be. And yeah, I mean, anybody who has a severe mental illness, it's bad. Yeah, but sorry about this camera. It keeps like focusing in and out. I don't know why. Let's see. Next question. What do you think about treating schizophrenia? Do you think that that it could be left alone? Treating schizophrenia, in my opinion. Why is this camera focusing in and out? I don't get it. I don't know. Treating schizophrenia, I would say if you're in a really bad state of mind and you're having a hard time, medicine is a very good option to stabilize it for a bit, to be able to understand the illness and to be able to figure it out. Basically, the best way you can treat the illness is to beat it, as in not letting it take everything from you. And that's my opinion on it. I don't really know, to be honest. I mean, I think that it can go. I don't think it should be left alone. It should never be left alone. It should always be treated. Um, and then when you're stable enough and you're very healthy and you're very confident in yourself, then you can kind of get off the medication and be able to beat it with your mind and be able to understand everything, be able to know what's real and what's not real. At least my that's what my goal is to be able to get off the medication, be able to deal with it on my own without much help. Okay, so next question. How are you so comfortable talking so openly about your illness online? Um, I don't really know. No, I'm not really in person. I'm not like this. I'm not really open. I'm not very talkative in person. It's kind of like therapy for me. This is very good for me, very good for me and very good for other people. Me talking about my life, me talking about my problems is very helpful to me. It's very therapeutic. And knowing that I'm helping so many people, that makes it even better. Um, for a long time, I didn't feel like uploading back when I didn't upload that much because of, I don't know, it just felt weird. Um, yeah. So it helps other people, helps me. It's very therapeutic and I love it. Okay, next question. Do I want kids? Yes, I do. I want kids really badly. Um, kids are, I don't know, having a little me around and having someone that resembles me and has my genes, I find that as so beautiful. And I love watching things grow up. I have like an obsession with, when I was young, I used to have like, I would used to find spiders all around my house or in my house, and they were babies, possibly, maybe a little older than a baby. And I would watch it grow up and I would watch it mature. And that was always the most fascinating thing to me is watching things grow up, watching things become adult. I don't know why, but that is one of the most fascinating things to me. And having a kid that is like me and is has the same genetics as I do. Watching them grow up, that would be the most fascinating thing in the entire world. And I mean, that's what we're here for. We're here to populate, but at the moment we're kind of overpopulating. So, I don't know. Yes, I want kids. Next question. Am I happy? Yes, I'm extremely happy. I'm the type of person that is very positive in every single aspect of life. Um, that's just how I've always been. I've always been an extremely happy, an extremely positive person, no matter what is going on in my life. Um, like, the only time I was really sad or I was very affected was when I was in 7th or 8th grade. That's when my illness was getting very bad. And I was extremely, I don't know if I would use the word depressed, but I was very down or very weird. And I wouldn't talk to anyone. That was probably the saddest point in my life. Um, and I spent 4 years by myself, very rarely talking to people, never leaving my house, never talking to anyone, never seeing anyone in person, and I was still extremely happy. Happiness it's an odd thing for everyone, and when you can conquer what happiness is and how the type of person you are, then basically it's just about understanding yourself. understanding life, understanding what makes you happy. That's what I see as happiness is. And I'm an extremely happy person, very positive in life about everything. And that's just how I am. That's how I've always been. So, next question. Am I excited for the future? Very, 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 very excited for the future. Because my goal in life is to, the long shot, become one of the best physicists of all time. It's a very long shot. But I have the mind for it. I have the love and the drive for it. And becoming one of the best physicists of all time, or becoming someone who figures out or has new discoveries, like Einstein figured out general relativity or special relativity. Einstein figured out gravity, and he figured out he literally created calculus. That is insane. And he had the laws of motion. He had, that is just beautiful to me. For people to have minds like that, and me to be having a similar mind, as in a creativeness or an idea of the universe or how things work, that is the most thing I'm fascinated in. And that's the most thing I love. That's all I think about is life, the universe, physics, everything. Like, everything. And I've been fascinated and in love with it ever since I was young. And that's what I see my future as, is working hard to become a great physicist. That is my goal. My goal is to do that. And when I look at my future like that, it makes me smile. And it makes me very, very happy. And it fills me with so much emotion. Because that's how emotional it is for me. Next question. Hold on, I have to scroll a little bit. Okay, 2 more questions and then I'm done. What are you most interested in? Well, I kind of just answered this, but I'll answer it again, put it a little brief, and maybe add a little more to it. What I'm most interested in is the universe. The universe. Physics, mathematics, life. How life forms. Pretty much everything. Extraterrestrial life is what I'm extremely excited for. Intelligent extraterrestrial life. But I'll be